Hi guys, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, thank you for visiting and welcome. This is my pursuit of trying to come up with a magnetic configuration that will keep a wheel continuously turning. Last night I screwed up during an experiment and 2 or 3 people caught the issue. So this will not keep running. I'm going to stop it by hand for good reason. You'll see that when I switched out this here, I had already pulled off all the other magnets and left only one on. Where I screwed up was I was demonstrating this, okay? And I put it on here. But when I switched it over to that, I had already pulled off the other magnets. I'm sorry, I screwed up. The other thing too is that this is very powerful, okay? And so I left this here on the table real close to this, which was a really big mistake. So that also affected the experiment. Okay. For those who are new here, real quick overview. This is working in traction mode when it's coming in this way, and it swings into repulsion mode when the magnets swing into this side. So we have attraction, now repulsion. But while it's repulsion, it's coming into this field here of attraction, and then it goes into repulsion and repeats the same pattern again and again until the last one just pushes it on out. Okay, now these are in neodymium N as in Nancy, N42 strength. They're 1 inch by 1 inch cylindrical magnets. And the issue we have here is that this magnet here is a lot weaker. I don't know if it's an N32. I don't know. I just don't know. And it's really light. So you can tell there's a big difference. And there's a 1/8 hole drilled down the middle of it, which also reduces its weight. So in any case, this is a lot weaker. This does not perform the same way all these other do. This doesn't have the strength. So I put a baggie here, okay? So you would see easily keep track of the weaker magnet. But you'll also notice when it comes around to these 2 good ones, which is right here and right here, suddenly it's got some oomph and it just wants to take off, despite somebody else here in the thread says otherwise. But you can see it. I've put the camera up higher so it's more straight down, so it makes it easier to detect sudden burst of speed. Okay, so what happens is when it gets to these 2, it wants to it just gets a little oomph, it gets a little push, a little burst of speed. But this one here literally is dragging the wheel down. So you'll notice when it starts to get slower, every time this comes by, it almost acts like a brake. It's just kind of bizarre. I don't know. I can't explain it. But this here is really screwing up this experiment. I have more magnets on the way, so we'll see what happens then. No promises, but if I didn't know better, looks like this may very well work after all. But thinking is the absence of knowing. Rather, thinking is the process of arriving at the answer. And I do not have the answers yet. Okay, here we go. Okay, watch the plastic baggie. Every time it goes by the bag, you'll notice a drag. When it gets to the 2 good ones, you'll see it's got this little sudden pickup. Watch the pickup all of a sudden, right there. Notice how it slows down dramatically when the baggie comes around. That's where it's losing the speed. And of course, what I'll do, I'll have more magnets. We'll put another grouping of stators over here, and of course another grouping over here. Now these are at 120 degrees apart from each other. You see high pickup speed right here? But now that's slow, mother hudger. Look at that. Look how slow that is. Now, but watch this. See pick up speed nicely? How anybody can't see that is beyond me. Now this guy's like acting like a brake. Okay. All right, well that's it. Now you all have your answer. Unfortunately, I don't have 3 equal magnets, so I have them on the way, and I'll work on this a little bit better. Also, there's some screws here in the table that are metal, so I need to get this up off the table, up higher. I'll have to create some kind of stand for it. So I got my work cut out for me. Also, there's a gentleman here, and I wrote him back. And by the way, this is you hearing me, who offered to to print me some stands for the armature magnets. Please, yes, I'm all for that. That would be wonderful. If anybody would like to help print out any kind of thing, 3D print out any 3D parts that you all think might help, that would be immensely helpful too as well. I'm not going to pretend like I have all of the answers, because I don't. But when you have a pool of people who are all working together on a given project, each person can contribute a little tiny little something that makes and breaks a project. And when you take all these little pieces here, little piece here, and piece here, and you put them all together from different people, then you end up with something. And that's how some of the greatest things in the world actually came of age. I mean, cars is a good example. Airplanes is a good example. Rocket ships are a good example. That's a lot of people coming together to work together to create a project and to get it to work properly for maximum performance. So I don't have all the answers, and I'm open-minded, and so I'm willing to, take some suggestions here. And if anybody can actually help, I appreciate that too with 3D printer. You can always write to me at my Gmail address. And because of artificial intelligence, I'm not going to give out the address complete in one sentence, but just simply add gmail.com at the end of free magnetic energy. That's free magnetic energy. Then, of course, just add the at gmail.com onto it, and then you can have direct communication with me. I get a lot of email there, so I try to weed through it best as I can. All right, guys, that's it. Again, my apologies for screwing up the other night. And by the way, leaving this sitting right next to the wheel, real close proximity, didn't help either.